Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin momentarily. I would like to take this opportunity to ask you to please find your seats, silence your cell phones. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commanding Officer, Officer Training Command Newport, welcome to the graduation ceremony for Officer Candidate School, Class 1519. Guests are encouraged to take photographs from the viewing area at any time during the ceremony, except during the playing of the national anthem. The order of events for today's ceremonies is as follows. At 10:30, Captain Nicholson, United States Navy, Commanding Officer of Officer Training Command Newport, and Rear Admiral White, United States Navy, retired, the guest of honor for today's ceremony, will arrive. Guests will be asked to rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and invocation. The commanding officer and guest of honor will address the graduating class and administer the oath of office. The graduates will then be recognized through the presentation of their commission by the commanding officer and the guest of honor. Guests will be asked to rise for the playing of the service songs and the final dismissal. Again, allow me to emphasize that you are encouraged to take photographs at any time during the ceremony, with the exception of playing the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem and invocation. Officer Training Command, Newport, arriving. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaplain Sutphin will now offer the invocation.
Let us pray. Eternal Father, we come to you in prayer as our first and highest duty, offering our grateful praise for your abundant goodness. Make us aware of your presence and be known among us as the author of strength, mercy, and joy. The character of Class 1519 has been established through suffering and toil. They have been tested and found worthy. May this be no transitory state. May they be known while they serve throughout their lives and long after for their consummate integrity. What they have gained in knowledge and physical strength match for them now in spiritual will to accomplish far greater things in service to the fleet, the nation, and the world. And may they always recall fondly their formative moments on these grounds. Bless each member of this class team by the measure of what they have generously given. Let them be encouraged by the continued success of these new ensigns. Guide us to honor those united in applause today and the many more they represent who were active in the course of events that led to this celebration. Faithfully we offer these prayers to you, O God, our refuge and shield. Bless those who go forth to stand the watch. May all here gathered find ourselves daily restored, confirmed, strengthened, and established by your mighty hand. In your holy name, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Mark Nicholson, Commanding Officer, Officer Training Command, Newport.
Admiral White, Mr. Lopez, General Brazil, fellow captains, colonels, distinguished guests, family members, and friends, and most importantly, soon-to-be commissioned ensigns of Class 1519. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
It's my sincere honor and privilege to be with all of you this morning to recognize and celebrate the achievement of these 86 young men and women sitting in front of me. America's very best and brightest, as they are commissioned as the newest ensigns in the United States Navy. For the families, I want to thank you, not only for making the long trip to be here this morning, but for the performance of your sons and daughters, husbands and wives, brothers and sisters. Your love and support have helped produce the quality individuals seated here and enabled our outstanding team of recruit division commanders, drill instructors, and class officers to further develop them morally, mentally, and physically into future leaders of character and competence. On behalf of the Navy and on behalf of our nation, thank you for your efforts. For Class 1519, I'm going to issue you two challenges. The first is about trust in your actions. The profession of naval officers, much like the medical and law professions, requires its members to take an oath. In just a few minutes, your parents, spouses, and loved ones, along with the OTC staff and myself, will bear witness as you raise your right hand and swear a sacred oath to support and defend the Constitution. This oath carries far more obligations than privileges. It carries the obligation to serve in the most trusted institution in America. According to Gallup polls that stretch back for more than a decade, the American people trust the military more than any other institution. A list that includes the Supreme Court, Congress, organized religion, police, public schools, our medical system, and our criminal justice system. It is up to you to maintain this trust. As George Washington once stated in an address to the officers of the Virginia Regiment, remember that it is the actions and not the commission that make the officer, and that there is more expected from him or her than the title. As an officer, you will be placed in a position to lead and mentor what is truly one of our most valuable national assets, the enlisted men and women of our Navy. The American people are trusting you trusting you to care for and lead them in defending our Constitution. So I challenge you to maintain and build upon the American people's trust through your actions as a naval officer. My second challenge is about leadership. As you reflect back on your time here in Newport, I am sure you will sincerely miss our infamous chow hall procedures. I encourage you to continue practicing them at home. Just a note for our families and friends, if you've ever dined in our chow hall here in Newport, then you have seen and heard these procedures, which can be deafening at times because they include a series of challenges and replies between a section leader and their class. And these can vary between our different schools here at Officer Training Command. Well, there's one chow hall response that always resonates with me, and is the one that our Officer Development School students shout just before they take their seats. Great leaders inspire others. Our guest of honor this morning, retired Rear Admiral Mike White, is one of those leaders. In Admiral White's summarized biography, which you can find in your programs, you will see that he commanded Carrier Air Wing 5 in Atsugi, Japan. This is where I had the privilege of working for this great leader over 12 years ago. Now, I often get asked by candidates why I have continued to stay in the Navy and serve for so long. And it truly comes down to that response that our ODS students recite. Great leaders inspire others. Great leaders inspire you to maintain a positive attitude. Great leaders inspire you to give 110% with each task and evolution. Great leaders inspire you to persevere through trying times. And great leaders inspire you to continue serving. So I issue my second challenge. Become a great leader. A great leader that not only inspires others, but motivates others to continue serving. You can do that by following the example of our guest speaker. Admiral White is one of those most humble leaders that I have ever served with in my entire career. He's also a genuine person that cares for the people he leads. And he inspires me to do the same each and every day. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming this morning's guest speaker, the great leader and current Dean of the College of Maritime Operational Warfare at the Naval War College, Rear Admiral Michael White.
Well, good morning. Class 1519, Mr. Lopez and the family and friends who have joined us today, and Captain Nicholson and his amazing OCS staff. What a great day to celebrate the future of our Navy. My wife Mary and I are honored to be here with you, and to look at the future leaders of our Navy as we can eye to eye today reminds us that our Navy truly has a very bright future ahead. And we're excited to be here with you. Now, one thing Captain Nicholson left off of my bio is I was a graduate of Class 2983. Now, I don't want the nukes doing the math. It was a long, long time ago, but that's a number you will never forget. Class 1519, I promise you. But as my wife Mary and I were reflecting on my graduation many years ago, we couldn't remember who the guest speaker was, nor what he talked about. So her hint to me was, perhaps that means you don't need to talk very long. She is wise, and I will heed those words. But there's a couple things we need to do. First, I'd like to recognize the many family members that are here with you today, and those that certainly couldn't travel to be with us. While Captain Nicholson and his team could do amazing things in this short period of time, there was a lifetime of character building that went on before you arrived here. Those things that taught you to be courageous, to treat others with respect, to have integrity, to pursue excellence relentlessly, all those things that brought you here today. Those didn't come from OCS, those came from your families as you were raised. And just as you told them last night, I think we owe them a great deal of thanks because you wouldn't be here without them today. So please join me in thanking your families. And secondly, to the team that dedicated so much to you here today, Captain Nicholson and his team, and in particular, Lieutenant McCoy and Lieutenant Storm, Senior Chief Morrow, Chief Cordeaux, and Staff Sergeant Kennel. Now, while we know they spent countless hours with you over the last few weeks, we also know they put an incredible emotional toll into this, physically, spiritually, mentally, putting their energy into making you the leaders that you are emerging today. So I'd also like to have you join me in thanking them for the tremendous work they've done. You should be very, very proud. So for Class 1519, I just have a story I'd like to share with you that I think is appropriate as you begin your Navy journey. It's about an individual named Ensign Jack Reed. Now, Jack came into the Navy much as you did, volunteered to serve his country in a time of war. This was a few years before I was commissioned, but it was a World War II time frame. He was commissioned, he went to flight school, and he was qualified in the PBY-5 Alpha. It's known as the Catalina. It was a seaplane used for logistics and reconnaissance during World War II. Jack was assigned to VP-44, and in May of 1942, his squadron was deployed to a small atoll in the Pacific called Midway. They arrived there on the 22nd of May and began patrols. You see, the United States had broken some of the Japanese code and believed that there would be an attack on Midway Island. They didn't know when or where it was coming from, but they were preparing. So BP-44 began their patrols just a few days after arrival. It was on June the 1st when one of those patrols went out. They didn't find a Japanese fleet, but they encountered a Japanese Betty, another reconnaissance aircraft. Now, neither the Catalina nor the Betty were really designed for air-to-air combat, but the two mixed it up for a bit. Neither was damaged. They both returned home. Now, Jack Reed's crew heard about this, and they went and traded some beer with the B-17 crew for some high-explosive rounds to put in their machine guns, just in case they had the chance. It was a couple days later, on June the 3rd, when they took off. It was a dawn patrol mission. Their call sign was Strawberry 5, and they were assigned the west-southwest sector from Midway Island. They launched in their patrol. It was Ensign Reed and his crew of 10, and they proceeded as normal. They went out to about 600 miles, which was the limit of their planned patrol. They hadn't seen anything, and they were ready to turn back, and Ensign Reed's crew said to him, "Let's stay out here." They had the bullets in their guns. They thought they might encounter that Betty. They wanted their chance. Ensign Reed knew his crew, he knew his aircraft, he looked at the fuel, and he believed they could afford to stay out a bit longer, and they did. It was about 30 minutes later, they didn't sight a Japanese Betty, but they sighted the Japanese fleet. It's about 700 miles west-southwest of Midway. So they stayed out for a little bit longer. They were hiding in the clouds. They were trying to ascertain the size and capability of that fleet, and always reporting back to Midway Island, eventually turning home and getting back with just enough fuel to land. Obviously, that report started the events of the day that we now know as the Battle of Midway, where 3 Japanese carriers were sunk and 1 was severely damaged. And most historians would tell you that was the turning point in the war in the Pacific, where the United States finally gained back the advantage. So it was quite a day. Now, I submit to you that when Jack Reed woke up that morning and looked in the mirror, he probably didn't say to himself, "I think I'll go turn the war in the Pacific today." I think he probably said to himself, "I'm going to do the best I can for my crew and my squadron." And so when I look out at each of you today, I believe I see some of Jack Reed. A young volunteer chose to defend the Constitution of his nation. He was brave, he was skilled, and he was ready to do the job he was assigned. And so I think about that often. As you go and look in the mirror each morning, you may not have the opportunity to change the tide of the war in the Pacific, but you will have opportunities. It might be the opportunity to serve in combat, to maybe change the course of something. Maybe the opportunity to rescue somebody in distress. Perhaps serve in humanitarian assistance or disaster recovery. Or perhaps just as simply as turning around the life of a troubled sailor. But I guarantee, as officers in the United States Navy, you will have that opportunity. And from the training you received and will continue to receive, you will be ready to execute it. And that's what makes us a great Navy and a great nation. So I couldn't be more proud of each of you today to complete this training and start on your Navy careers. Many of you who will become Mustangs have already served and know what to expect. But there are great things ahead. And so Brandon and I wish you all the best as you start your Navy journey. And if any of you would like to trade places, I hope you'll see me afterwards. But if not, we'll get on to the commissioning and let you proceed with your Navy career. Congratulations to each of you all. May God bless you and keep his watch over you. Thank you very much.
The graduating class will now receive the oath of office. Would all military personnel in uniform please come to the position of attention? Class 1519, raise your right hand.
If you will, I state your name. Having been appointed an ensign in the United States Navy, do hereby accept such appointment and do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The graduates assembled will now be recognized by the commanding officer for their achievements while undergoing training here at Officer Training Command in Newport. Ensign Acker. Ensign Acker has been designated an intelligence officer and will be assigned to Intelligence Officer Basic Course in Dam Neck, Virginia. Ensign Acker is a graduate of the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Ensign Anderson. Ensign Anderson has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Anderson is a graduate of Grand Canyon University. Ensign Armengau. Ensign Armengau has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Armengau is a graduate of Arizona State University. Ensign Blair. Ensign Blair has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Laboon, DDG 58, in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Ensign Blair is a graduate of the University of Louisville. Ensign Bowman. Ensign Bowman has been designated a surface warfare officer with a meteorology and oceanography option and will be assigned to the USS Theodore Roosevelt, CVN 71, in San Diego, California. Ensign Bowman is a graduate of the University of Dayton. Ensign Bradley. Ensign Bradley has been designated a supply officer and will be assigned to Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Bradley is a graduate of Northeastern University. Ensign Bradner. Ensign Bradner has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Bradner is a graduate of Northern Arizona University. Ensign Burton. Ensign Burton has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Burton is a graduate of Angelo State University. Ensign Canada. Ensign Canada has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Sterett, DDG 104, in San Diego, California. Ensign Canada is a graduate of the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. Ensign Shereskin. Ensign Shereskin has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS San Diego, LPD 22, in San Diego, California. Ensign Shereskin is a graduate of Old Dominion University. Ensign Coble. Ensign Coble has been designated an information professional and will be assigned to Naval Intelligence Officer Basic School course in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Ensign Coble is a graduate of Trident University. Ensign Kronk. Ensign Kronk has been designated a submarine warfare officer and will be assigned to Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Kronk is a graduate of Arkansas Tech University. Ensign Davis. Ensign Davis has been designated a submarine warfare officer and will be assigned to Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Davis is a graduate of Southern New Hampshire University. Ensign Duame. Ensign Duame has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Wasp, LPD 1, in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Ensign Duame is a graduate of Wofford College. Ensign Green. Ensign Green has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Rushmore, LSD 47, in San Diego, California. Ensign Green is a graduate of Kennesaw State University. Ensign Hanley. Ensign Hanley has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Hanley is a graduate of Ave Maria University. Ensign Heimel. Ensign Heimel has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS James E. Williams, DDG 95, in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Ensign Heimel is a graduate of the University of Rhode Island. Ensign Hoffman. Ensign Hoffman is undesignated and unsigned. Ensign Hoffman is a graduate of the University of Minnesota. Ensign Hurd. Ensign Hurd has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS John S. McCain, DDG 56, in Yokosuka, Japan. Ensign Hurd is a graduate of the University of Alabama. Ensign King. Ensign King has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Anchorage in San Diego, California. Ensign King is a graduate of Northern Arizona University. Ensign Lopretti. Ensign Lopretti has been designated a special warfare officer and has been assigned to Little Creek, Virginia. Ensign Lopretti is a graduate of Norwich University. Ensign Luthi. Ensign Luthi has been designated a student naval aviator and has been assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Luthi is a graduate of University of Oklahoma. Ensign Marshall. Ensign Marshall has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Mesa Verde, LPD-19, in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Marshall is a graduate of Arizona State University. Ensign McCarty. Ensign McCarty has been designated an aviation maintenance duty officer and has been assigned to Strike Fighter Squadron 32. Ensign McCarty is a graduate of Old Dominion University. Ensign McCorvey. Ensign McCorvey has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign McCorvey is a graduate of the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Ensign McLaughlin. Ensign McLaughlin has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Shoup, DDG 86 in San Diego, California. Ensign McLaughlin is a graduate of Indiana State University. Ensign Morio. Ensign Morio has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Thomas Hudner, DDG 116 in Mayport, Florida. Ensign Morio is a graduate of the University of Arizona. Ensign Mullen. Ensign Mullen has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Higgins, DDG 76 in San Diego, California. Ensign Mullen is a graduate of the University of Notre Dame. Ensign O'Keefe. Ensign O'Keefe has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Kidd, DDG 100 in Everett, Washington. Ensign O'Keefe is a graduate of Old Dominion University. Ensign Euler. Ensign Euler has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Somerset, LPD-25 in San Diego, California. Ensign Euler is a graduate of West Virginia University. Ensign Parash. Ensign Parash has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Parash is a graduate of the University of Missouri, St. Louis. Ensign Roberts. Ensign Roberts has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Roberts is a graduate of DePaul University. Ensign Sankey. Ensign Sankey has been designated a supply officer and will be assigned to Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Sankey is a graduate of Central Michigan University. Ensign Saunders. Ensign Saunders has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Saunders is a graduate of San Diego Christian College. Ensign Simon. Ensign Simon has been designated a supply officer and will be assigned to Supply Corps School, Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Simon is a graduate of Georgia Southern University. Ensign Stockdale. Ensign Stockdale has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Stockdale is a graduate of the University of West Florida. Ensign Suggs. Ensign Suggs has been designated a surface warfare officer with a meteorology and oceanography option and will be assigned to the USS Wasp, LHD-1, in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Ensign Suggs is a graduate of California State University, Monterey Bay. Ensign Tietzel. Ensign Tietzel has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Wasp, LHD-1, in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Ensign Tietzel is a graduate of Hastings College. Ensign Turnbull. Ensign Turnbull has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Turnbull is a graduate of DeVry University. Ensign Wynn. Ensign Wynn has been designated a cryptologic warfare officer and will be assigned to Navy Information Operations Center in Texas. Ensign Wynn is a graduate of the University of Maryland University College. Ensign Utley. Ensign Utley has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Tortuga, LSD-46, in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Ensign Utley is a graduate of the American Military University. Ensign Wanamaker. Ensign Wanamaker has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Wanamaker is a graduate of the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Ensign Woods. Ensign Woods has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Woods is a graduate of the Citadel Military College of South Carolina. Ensign Zeman. Ensign Zeman has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Zeman is a graduate of the Missouri State University. Ensign Abbott. Ensign Abbott has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Abbott is a graduate of Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania. Ensign Kathy. Ensign Kathy has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Kathy is a graduate of LeTourneau University. Ensign Fifield. Ensign Fifield has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Pearl Harbor, LSD-52, in San Diego, California. Ensign Fifield is a graduate of Carroll College. Ensign Cherry. Ensign Cherry has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Laboon, DTG-58, in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Ensign Cherry is a graduate of Florida International University. Ensign Lothridge. Ensign Lothridge has been designated an information professional and will be assigned to Network Warfare Command in Suffolk, Virginia. Ensign Lothridge is a graduate of ECPI University. Ensign Ovchinnikov. Ensign Ovchinnikov has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Ovchinnikov is a graduate of the University of Maryland University College. Ensign Carranza. Ensign Carranza has been designated a Civil Engineering Corps officer and will be assigned to Naval Mobile Construction Battalion 133 in Gulfport, Mississippi. Ensign Carranza is a graduate of Texas A&M University. Ensign Girolamo. Ensign Girolamo has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Howard, DDG-83, in San Diego, California. Ensign Girolamo is a graduate of Trident University. Ensign Stewart. Ensign Stewart has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Stout, DDG-55, in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Stewart is a graduate of Arcadia University. Ensign Jordan. Ensign Jordan has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Buckley, DDG-84, in Norfolk, Virginia. Ensign Jordan is a graduate of California State University, Fullerton. Ensign Aquino. Ensign Aquino has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Aquino is a graduate of Siena College. Ensign Brackett. Ensign Brackett has been designated a cryptological warfare officer and will be assigned to Cryptological Warfare Activity 66. Ensign Brackett is a graduate of the University of Florida. Ensign Brecky. Ensign Brecky has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Brecky is a graduate of Texas A&M University. Ensign Bridges. Ensign Bridges has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Lake Champlain, CG-57, in San Diego, California. Ensign Bridges is a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh. Ensign Charles. Ensign Charles has been designated a supply officer and will be assigned to Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Charles is a graduate of Grambling State University. Ensign Clark. Ensign Clark has been designated a submarine warfare officer and will be assigned to Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Clark is a graduate of Milwaukee School of Engineering. Ensign Dunn. Ensign Dunn has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Tortuga, LSD-46, in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Ensign Dunn is a graduate of Brandon University. Ensign Flesher. Ensign Flesher has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Roosevelt, DDG-80 in Newport, Florida. Ensign Flesher is a graduate of Florida State University. Ensign Fortson. Ensign Fortson has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Fortson is a graduate of California State University, Chico. Ensign Gore. Ensign Gore has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Stockdale, DDG-106 in San Diego, California. Ensign Gore is a graduate of South Carolina State University. Ensign Guidry. Ensign Guidry has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Guidry is a graduate of Florida State University. Ensign Hargrave. Ensign Hargrave has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Hargrave is a graduate of James Madison University. Ensign Germstad. Ensign Germstad has been designated a supply officer and will be assigned to Supply Corps School, Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Germstad is a graduate of the College of William and Mary. Ensign June. Ensign June has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Mahan, DDG-72 in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Ensign June is a graduate of Brooklyn College. Ensign Kane. Ensign Kane has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Shiloh, CG-67 in Yokosuka, Japan. Ensign Kane is a graduate of the University of Arizona. Ensign Kim. Ensign Kim has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Roosevelt, DDG-80 in Newport, Florida. Ensign Kim is a graduate of National University. Ensign Lamberti. Ensign Lamberti has been designated a supply officer and will be assigned to Supply Corps School, Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Lamberti is a graduate of Bruton Parker College. Ensign Lopez. Ensign Lopez has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS John Paul Jones, DDG-53 in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Ensign Lopez is a graduate of George Mason University. Ensign Miram. Ensign Miram has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Michael Monsoor, DDG-1001 in San Diego, California. Ensign Miram is a graduate of San Diego State University. Ensign Miller. Ensign Miller has been designated a special warfare officer and will be assigned to Little Creek, Virginia. Ensign Miller is a graduate of the University of Maryland. Ensign Nihilus. Ensign Nihilus has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Essex, LHD-2 in San Diego, California. Ensign Nihilus is a graduate of the University of California, Irvine. Ensign Naraki. Ensign Naraki has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Naraki is a graduate of the College of Central Florida. Ensign Nguyen. Ensign Nguyen has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Rushmore, LSD-47 in San Diego, California. Ensign Nguyen is a graduate of San Jose State University. Ensign Pietri. Ensign Pietri has been designated a student naval aviator and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Pietri is a graduate of George Washington University. Ensign Ramfrey. Ensign Ramfrey has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Halsey, DDG-97 in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Ensign Ramfrey is a graduate of Dallas Baptist University. Ensign Rasband. Ensign Rasband has been designated a student naval flight officer and will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Rasband is a graduate of Brigham Young University. Ensign Rivas. Ensign Rivas has been designated a surface warfare officer and will be assigned to the USS Whidbey Island, LST-41 in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Ensign Rivas is a graduate of Old Dominion University. Ensign Roundtree. Ensign Roundtree has been designated a supply officer and will be assigned to Supply Corps School, Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Roundtree is a graduate of North Carolina State University. Ensign Russo. Ensign Russo has been designated a submarine warfare officer and will be assigned to Nuclear Power School in Charleston, South Carolina. Ensign Russo is a graduate of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Ensign Salazar. Ensign Salazar has been designated a Surface Warfare Officer and will be assigned to the USS Hopper, DDG-70, in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Ensign Salazar is a graduate of Sacramento State University. Ensign Serrata. Ensign Serrata has been designated a Supply Officer and will be assigned to Supply Corps School in Newport, Rhode Island. Ensign Serrata is a graduate of American Military University. Ensign Short. Ensign Short has been designated a Student Naval Aviator and will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida. Ensign Short is a graduate of the University of California, Berkeley. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing the United States Navy's newest ensigns. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the service songs and the final dismissal. Please remain in your places until after the graduating class has taken their class photo. On behalf of the Commanding Officer, Officer Training Command Newport, thank you for attending today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the graduation ceremony.
Sir? Awesome.
Enjoy your 96.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I was really trying to.
You guys did a very good job.
You too, sir.
So for your graduation, I'll be here.
Say again, sir. Try to enunciate. I tried to not go too fast. Yeah, but he doesn't want to go anywhere.
What?
This is what he wants to do. Right here.
No, sir.
Something came out about it. Yeah, right.
stay here. You did good. You guys did well. Very good job.